Hello. Thank you again for joining me. I'm back, and we're going to continue in the book of Isaiah. We're on chapter 42. And so may the Lord bless the hearing of his holy word. And so we'll begin. Behold, my servant whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law. Thus saith God the Lord, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. This is talking about when Christ comes, and the work that he does. He opened the eyes of the blind, and he performed all of these works. I am the Lord, this is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Lord, and declare his praise in the islands. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holden my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills, and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. I remember we in the previous chapter we ran into that verse that talked about the upper pool, the conduit by the upper pool near the fuller's field. Okay, so I will dry up the pools. So the pools are water. I will dry up pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. And crooked things straight, straight gate, straight. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, Ye are our gods. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Saying many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. She's talking about the graven images, trusting in the works of our own hands once again. Going backwards into Egypt, once again. So, who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? So once again, it's referring to those that are bringing the gospel, but going back into, bondage, or trusting in the molten images and things like that. Saying many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. Okay, so once again, typifying bondage. Okay, prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, Restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil, and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger, and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about, yet he knew it not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. See, a lot of times we don't, things happen and we're blasé about it, we're kind of lukewarm and just cavalier, and we never really consider it. And which is so easy to do in such a busy world where everything is so fast paced, and we can sometimes lose sight of, we just forget God. I mean, let's just face it. That's what happens. That's why, it's good to have little things to kind of focus on in the world, because the world is filled with things that are deliberately put in our face in order to distract us and take us away from focusing on the things that are really important, which is, staying upon the Lord in this time. Okay, so we're on chapter 43 now. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. See, even when our faith fails, God remains faithful, and he will not deny himself. He saves the people for his name's sake, not for ours. um, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. And we remember Daniel when in Babylon, they forced everybody to bow down to the image, and Daniel, or they told, that they couldn't pray. They made that new law that said that no one could pray to anyone, and Daniel still continued to pray to his God. So they threw him in the fiery furnace. They heated it up even hotter. Oh, no, they put him in the lions. Daniel was put in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were the ones that were placed in the fiery furnace, that the king heated up even 7 times hotter than it was before. And, but yeah, they were not burned, the Lord was with them. And neither was the smell of fire on them either, But it's fiery trials, that's what the believers are always tested in the fire. We're tried in the fire. And it's all to do with faith, having faith that is unwavering and unshakable and unmovable. Okay. And it says here, when thou passest through the waters, the fountain of living waters, the Lord is with him. His spirit hovers upon the water, and it is his spirit that quickens the soul. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, Give up, and to the south, Keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. So it seems like it's from the 4 corners of the earth, all the believers are, caught up and brought to Christ from every nation, tongue, and tribe. I will say to the north, Give up, and to the south, Keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. even everyone that is called by my name. For I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, It is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am the Lord, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared, and have saved, and I have showed, when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Thus saith the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles, and the Chaldeans whose cry is in the ships. I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise, they are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. Remember, Israel typifying the Old Testament church age, and then Jacob typifying the New Testament church age, which because Jesus was a lion from the tribe of Judah. And Israel, thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offerings, neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense. The sacrifices in the New Testament church age is praise. Okay. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices, but thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. I, even I, am he that blotteth out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sins. Put me in remembrance, let us plead together. Declare thou, that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches. Chapter 44. Yet now here, but see, there is a remnant chosen by grace unto salvation, because God will have a people for himself, for his name's sake. Okay. Chapter 44. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou, Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. And notice that the dry ground in the wilderness, the desert, that's speaking of when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, and they crossed on dry land when God parted that Red Sea, and then they were in the wilderness, sojourning in the wilderness, and where God took care of them and He provided for them. He gave them manna, and so they were taken care of, and they were in safety, and they were protected. Um, and that is like coming out of bondage, coming out of Egypt. So it's speaking of the remnant that are sojourning in the wilderness, in the desert, in the dry places. There's going to be water. There's going to be, He's going to give drink. It says, and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. So it's speaking of those that are in the wilderness, that are not in Egypt, okay? Um, excuse me. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord, that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourses. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. And who, as I shall call, and who, as I shall call, and shall declare it, and set it in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people, and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. Is there a God besides me? Yea, there is no God, I know not any. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They see not nor know, that they may be ashamed. Who hath formed a god, or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up, yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth it with hammers, and worketh it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with a line, he fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof, and warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god, and worshippeth it. He maketh it a graven image, and falleth down thereto. I remember one time when I've been to Italy, maybe, I don't know, 3 times, I guess. But every time I went to the Vatican and visited, and I also went to, because I love art, I love to look at all the art, and spent time in France at the Louvre, exploring all the floors and all the different, way in the bottom when they had all the sepulchres, and they had all the ancient Egyptian, sarcophagi. It was very, very interesting. But one thing I noticed wherever I went, there were statues, like big, massive statues made out of marble, Carrara marble, and they, above the Vatican, there are like all those statues. There are so numerous statues, molten images, but and are a lot of art. Michelangelo's in the Sistine Chapel. They had all the work of art, a lot of images, a lot of imagery. And I mean, I don't know, we art is art, but when people actually bow down to those things and worship them, and a lot of people that practice dark arts, they do a lot of that stuff. They literally worship a lot of those images. They really do fashion things, and they chant and do all kinds of stuff, and that is not pleasing to God in our day, even. So the stuff has gone on, since the very beginning. Um, but anyway, let me continue. Where was I? Oh dear, bear with me. I lost my place. Smith and the tongs, the carpenter. Okay, he heweth him out. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. This is talking about trees in a forest. All the different types of trees that are planted in a forest, and the rain doth nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof and warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it and baketh bread. All the things that are done with wood, right? He kindleth it and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god and worshippeth it. He maketh it a graven image and falleth down thereto. He burneth part thereof in the fire, and part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and it satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself and saith, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worshippeth it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, Deliver me, for thou art my God. I think this was like really prevalent in. I remember the movie. Oh gosh, what was the name of the movie with Russell Crowe? Where they were in Rome and they were. Oh gosh, I know I'm gonna forget. I forgot the name of the movie. Gladiator, and he always carried those little gods with him, those little statues that he worshipped. I guess it was it's a prevalent thing for some religions. They actually do worship images and stuff. So they just, I don't know, good luck charms or whatever they feel that they are. But I always feel, when in doubt, go without. That's the best advice that I can give to anybody. Not to set up idols. Idolatry could be it doesn't have to be something material. It could be, it doesn't have to be something tangible. It could be also something that you're placing, anything that you place your heart on that is that takes the place of God in your heart, I guess that would probably be considered idolatry, you know. Okay. They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. And none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof, I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stalk of a tree? He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is there not a lie in my right hand? So so I guess that's pretty understandable right there. Remember thee, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee. Thou art my servant, O Israel. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions, and as a cloud thy sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. Sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth. Break forth into singing, ye mountains, O forest, and every tree therein. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob, and glorified himself in Israel. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that trusteth that frustrateth the tokens of the liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish, that confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that saith to Jerusalem, Thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah, Ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof, that saith to the deep, Be dry, and I will dry up thy rivers, that saith of Cyrus, He is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure, even saying to Jerusalem, Thou shalt be built, and to the temple, Thy foundation shall be laid. Chapter 45. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee, and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass, and cut in sunder the bars of iron. The gates of brass and bars of iron, referring to like prison, prison. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness, and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all of these things. So God creates darkness, and he creates, light. He creates good and he creates evil, all for his purposes. Drop down, ye heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, and let them bring forth salvation, and let righteousness spring up together. I, the Lord, have created it. Woe unto him that striveth with his Maker. Let the potsherds strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioneth it, What makest thou? Or thy work, he hath no hands? Woe unto him that saith unto his father, What begettest thou? Or to the woman, What hast thou brought forth? Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker, Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands command ye me. I have made the earth, and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all their host have I commanded. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward, saith the Lord of hosts. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt, and merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabaeans, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains, they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, Surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. Verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. And I just want to touch on that for a second because, remember when they called him Doubting Thomas, because he said that he would not believe unless he saw for himself, the little, the piercings in Jesus's hands and his feet and all that. And then Jesus appeared and told him, you have seen, and that therefore you believe, but blessed are those that do not see yet believe. Because we walk by faith and not by sight. And oftentimes people, because they don't see, because you wait on the Lord, He's the one that gives the increase. He gives us spiritual ears to hear and spiritual eyes to see, um, according to his time, but he tests us, wait upon the Lord, and that takes patience. And especially today when everything is so fast and everybody wants everything like now and rush, 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 and instant gratification, and it's taking too long, and people grow impatient, and I remember reading the Bible when I was married. I'd be reading and studying. I had a practice of just studying every day. When my kids come home from school at 3 p.m., we had a little Bible class there. But anyway, sometimes my husband would come home and on a couple of times, aren't you done reading that book yet? There are just those who don't understand that it is a lifelong journey, because it's the living word. I mean, it's living and powerful. So it takes time, though, waiting upon the Lord till and hoping in His mercy that He would open your spiritual eyes and ears, that His Holy Spirit would be given to you. And, but anyway, I guess, some people get impatient, like in the children of Israel, when they so quickly went out of the way and fashioned that golden image, that molten image, the calf of Samaria, and made that their God, but that happens for real, and people don't change very much, throughout time. So it says, "Verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, Seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. Assemble yourselves and come draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven image, and pray unto a God that cannot save. Tell ye, and bring them near, yea, let them take counsel together, who hath declared this from ancient time, who hath told it from that time. Have not I the Lord? And there is no God else beside me, a just God and a Saviour, there is none beside me. Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God, and there is none else. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. Surely shall one say, in the Lord have I righteousness and strength, even to him shall men come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed. In the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified, and shall glory." Chapter 46. Bel boweth down, Nebo stoopeth. Their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle. Your carriages were heavy loaden. They are a burden to the weary beast. They stoop, they bow down together. They could not deliver the burden, but themselves are gone into captivity. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb, and even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear, even I will carry, and will deliver you. To whom will ye liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be alike? They lavish gold out of the bag, and weigh silver in the balance, and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. They fall down, yea, they worship. They bear him upon the shoulder, they carry him, and set him in his place. And he standeth, from his place shall he not remove. Yea, one shall cry unto him, yet can he not answer, nor save him out of his trouble. Remember this, and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executeth my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it, I will also bring it to pass. I have proposed it, I will also do it. Hearken unto me, ye stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. Chapter 47. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. Now, this coincides with what we read in Revelation. Babylon, mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots, and also in the book of Ezekiel. And it talks about that woman that is thrown down with a lead that is thrust on her, and she sinks all the way down. So let me continue. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. The millstones are, for grinding the meal, the corn, to make meal, to make bread. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. This is talking about harlotry, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, make bare the leg, uncover thy locks. Okay. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So this was once called the Lady of Kingdoms. This was once called, by his name. But see, they've gone ahead and eaten their own bread and worn their own apparel. They're trusting in the works of their hands, molten images, idolatry. It's all, pretty much the same thing. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. So the latter end. Therefore, hear now this, that thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And a widow is someone whose husband has died. They don't have a husband. Okay? So it's speaking of the body that doesn't have the body of they're supposed to be the bride, right? Prepared for the bridegroom. But in this case, they're a widow. But they're saying, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Okay, sorceries and enchantments. So it's witchcraft. Okay, and that is so prevalent in our day. I kid you not. I had, before 4 years ago, I had no knowledge of the witchcraft movement. I never considered it. I never knew about it. Never saw a YouTube video of any of that at all. But I was divinely guided. God wanted me to know what things were happening in our time, and He directed me so that I would gain discernment. For one, it was altogether to reveal things to me that he wanted me to know about this particular time that we're in. And then I understood that this is what is happening in our day, and it is so prevalent, and it reaches all the way up to the very top echelons of government in our time. They are using this ancient knowledge and sorcery and witchcraft and spell work that they are doing in secret, in private, without our knowing, in darkness and in the shadows. There's a lot of this demonic stuff going on in our time. And it's a travesty. It really is. Um, because it's a gross abuse. They pervert justice, and they pervert God's laws. And it's out of control, and really out of control in our day. Anyway, let me get back to this. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Another thing I want to say about that movement is that these people who discover all this ancient knowledge and they practice all this sorcery, they get a God complex, and they exalt themselves above the Most High God. They really do believe that they worship Lucifer, and they don't think, because that is where they're promised fame, fortune, wealth, prestige, popularity, and that is where they feel entitled, and they become very arrogant against God, and the pride against God's people. So they keep this knowledge very secretive, and they work behind the scenes. They do a lot of this spell work to rob God's people of their spiritual gifts, their talents, skills. They hack everything. It's really a travesty what they do, but they don't believe that there is a higher power, and that sees them. They do not believe that there is a higher power that sees them. And these people feel they can get away with all of this, but it's Judgment Day, and all of this is brought to light. Okay. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. And that is actually what's happening today. In our day, all of these people are being called out for that stuff, and they are blown away. They had no idea that there is a higher power that actually saw their ass and caught them red-handed, and put a stop to a lot of what they were doing. So a lot of these people are exposed for what they've been doing, even as I speak, even now. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. I also want to make mention of, in this spiritual battle that has been waged against me, these people had been trying to sacrifice me as a light one, as a child of God. This is what they do. They target people of light, people that are are rich in faith and are highly high vibrational, with compassion, and that bear the fruits of the Spirit. These people target us. Unbeknownst to us, without our knowledge or consent, they harvest and they pay attention to the full moons. They do all this stuff at full moons. They get together and have these rituals, and that's what they do. They actively practice this. And a lot of this stuff are people that are in churches. They use churches as a cover for what they do underneath it all. I mean, it's prevalent and it's big. It's a big movement out there. It's really disgusting what these people do. But yeah, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. Chapter 48. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness. You see, because remember, they want to eat their own bread and wear their own apparel. Only let them be called by thy name to take away the reproach. Not in truth, nor in righteousness. For they call themselves of the holy city, and stay themselves upon the God of Israel. The Lord of hosts is his name. I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Because I knew that thou art obstinate, and thy neck is an iron sinew, and thy brow brass. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee. Before it came to pass, I showed it thee, lest thou shouldest say, Mine idol hath done them, and my graven image and my molten image hath commanded them. Thou hast heard, see all this, and will ye not declare it? I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them. They are created now, and not from the beginning, even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldest say, Behold, I knew them. God has given us his word from the beginning, and all these things he foretold of things that would happen even in our day, from the very beginning. Nobody can take credit, that it's their molten image that told them, or it's their sorcerers or their familiar spirits that told them. No, nobody can claim credit. God doesn't share his glory with anyone. Yea, thou heardest not, yea, thou knewest not. Yea, from that time thine ear was not opened, for I knew that thou wouldest deal very treacherously, and wast called a transgressor from the womb. For my name's sake will I defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain for thee, that I cut thee not off. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For mine own sake, even for mine own sake will I do it. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory unto another. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my called. I am he, I am the first, I also am the last. Mine hand also hath laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand hath spanned the heavens. When I call unto them, they stand up together. All ye assemble yourselves and hear, which among them hath declared these things. The Lord hath loved him. I'm sorry, let me read that again. It's my eyes. Okay. All ye, assemble yourselves and hear. Which among them hath declared these things? The Lord hath loved him. He will do his pleasure on Babylon, and his arm shall be on the Chaldeans. I, even I, have spoken. Yea, I have called him. I have brought him, and he shall make his way prosperous. Come ye near unto me. Hear ye this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning. From the time that it was, there am I. From the time that it was, there am I. And now the Lord God and his Spirit hath sent me. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, I am the Lord thy God, which teacheth thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go. Oh, that thou hadst hearkened to my commandments! Then had thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea. Thy seed also had been as the sand, and the offspring of thy bowels like the graven thereof, like the gravel thereof. His name should not have been cut off nor destroyed from before me. Go ye forth of Babylon, flee ye from the Chaldeans. With the voice of singing declare ye, tell this, utter it unto the end of the earth. Say ye, the Lord hath redeemed his servant Jacob. And they thirsted not when he led them through the deserts. He caused the waters to flow out of the rock for them. He clave the rock also, and the waters gushed out. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. So, in the wilderness, uh, where it's normally dry and desolate and desert, God, there's water. He gives us water to drink. So, um, in this late time, He gives us of His water to drink. I'm non-denominational. I don't attend any church. I worship the Lord in spirit and truth, and I just stay in His Word, because where two or three are gathered in His name, there He is in the midst of us, and certainly our fellowship is what God the Father and His Son, Jesus the Christ of God. And of course, that doesn't. Of course, I'm not saying you don't. You can certainly fellowship with people. I mean, we love everyone. um, anyway, let's see. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. Should I read one more? No, I think I'll stop there because 51 minutes. Okay, these take a little time to upload. All right, peace out, everybody. Have a really good evening. God bless. Good night.